I've written some of my own bad versions of personal statements. These are not personal. I've just made them up because I've seen them a lot. So one is the autobiography. Ever since I was 10 years old, I wanted to be a lawyer. I argued about XYZ with my parents. I always liked to read the fine print and would pester my parents with questions about what all these legal terms meant. It continued in school when I argued XY policies for a higher grade from the teacher using their own grading rubric. How clever was I? I did debate and was even on a panel with XYZ famous person. They said I was the most impressive young person they'd ever encountered. My college had an unfair policy about dining hall meal plans that I got changed. Now in my job, I advocate for XYZ by helping clients navigate policies, loopholes, all that bureaucracy. Most recently, when my parents had a hard time getting out of a cruise booking during COVID, I found the fine print that got them to give us a full refund of the deposit and everything. There are a lot of problems with XYZ policies on the national level, and I want to change that. I will bring perseverance, diligence, and hard work to whatever I do. Based on my previous professional and personal experiences, I am confident that X School of Law is the best place to achieve my goals. Thank you. So I hope you realize that there are several terrible problems with a personal statement along these lines. Most of it, obviously, I would scrap entirely. If I were to look for the little gold nugget in this that could be expanded upon, this person has helped clients navigate various policies, loopholes, bureaucracy. If this theoretical applicant could go deep on that, sharing some anecdotes, some examples, some real personal experiences and reflections on what they did in that line of work, that could have the makings of a decent personal statement. But you don't want to laundry list several things you've done. You don't want to talk about wanting to be a lawyer since you were the age of 10. That's not really something we should take seriously, especially not simply because you like to argue. So let's have real, meaningful, concrete experiences that you've done and highlight those, not talking about college dining hall meal plans or arguing with a teacher, and certainly don't brag. So that's one common trope I would really aim to stay away from. Travel. I never understood how much privilege I had until I went to X country for a semester or week or family trip. I thought I had it hard living as a college student working at the same time, but these people didn't even have clean water. It made me realize my obligation to help others and devote my life to public service. There are many policy changes that need to be made, such as XYZ. So don't spend a lot of time talking about policy changes you want to make. They're not looking for your policy proposals. You haven't been to law school yet. They also don't want to hear about you recognizing your privilege during a short trip somewhere. If you were somewhere for a very long period of time, different story, but travel essays I would typically stay away from. On a similar note, don't talk about how your home country is less free or less good than the American way of life and how the rule of law is essential to a free society and that you're inspired by your experience with the American legal system or with some other country's legal system. If they're in the US, they probably think there are some good things about the free society, democracy, all of that. And it's not personal at all. So if anybody could have written it and it's not particular to you, stay away. Anything about a low GPA or low LSAT score during the semester, either related to adjusting to college or COVID disruption or protests, police brutality, riots, Black Lives Matter activism, all of that, stay away from it. They're going to see 1,000 essays like that. And it's also not really a personal essay. It's talking about potentially why your GPA or your LSAT score suffered, maybe even due simply to the digital LSAT or lsat-flex transition. I would think long and hard about writing one of these essays in general. And if you do, don't make it a personal statement, make it a separate addendum and ask yourself, really, truly, is it necessary to write this? There may be cases, of course, where it is, but otherwise I'd stay away. And finally, don't spend an essay talking only about a role model, someone you admire, XYZ person, you've always looked up to them, and whenever you've had a struggle, they've supported you and inspired you, and now you want to support others the exact same way, especially if you never even met them. Again, make it about you. Make it about you. It's the biggest thing I'll say there. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them, and feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.